Hi there, it is Sunday the 13th of September 2020. We're moving our way through the fall forecast for our weather will be announced tomorrow for here in southern Ontario, and just can't wait to hear what that is. But I know one thing, snow is eventually coming. I know one thing, winter is around the corner. It's not the next season on the list, but it's the one after that. So we just get ready. We've enjoyed a beautiful, warm and wonderful summer here, so we just take what's coming. In Proverbs chapter 3, we have a tremendous portion of scripture that addresses something that I think we need to talk about. And what we need to talk about is this. It's really in the form of a question. Have you ever felt crushed in your spirit? Have you ever felt just absolutely demoralized, where getting up out of bed in the morning is a task, it's a chore, it's not a delight anymore? If you're in that category, this is, I believe, a message that will help you. Proverbs chapter 3, hear the word of the Lord. My son, do not forget my teaching, but keep my commands in your heart, for they will prolong your life many years and bring you prosperity. Let love, and this is the key, let love and faithfulness never leave you. Bind them around your neck and write them on the tablet of your heart. Then you will win favor and a good name in the sight of God and in the sight of man. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and shun evil. This will bring health to your body and nourishment to your bones. This is the word of the Lord. In Ezekiel chapter 37, God shows the prophet a vision. Now, this is what it says. The hand of the Lord was upon me, and he brought me out by the Spirit of the Lord and set me in the middle of a valley. It was full of bones. He led me back and forth among them, and I saw a great many bones on the floor of the valley, bones that were very dry. And he asked me, Son of man, can these bones live? It's a good question, actually, for us, because in our moments of despair, we wonder if there is ever going to be a way back. So God asked the prophet, can these bones live? Can there actually be a return? Can there be a resurrection to what is expected of what these bones can do when they're framed together as a human being? Then he said to me, or I said to him, Sovereign Lord, you alone know the answer to that. And then he said to me, prophesy to these bones and say to them, dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. And this is what the sovereign Lord says to the bones. I will make breath enter you, and you will come to life, and I will attach tendons to you, and I will make flesh come upon you, and I will cover you with skin, and I will put breath in you, and you will come to life. Then you will know that I am the Lord. So I prophesied just as I was commanded, and as I was prophesying, there was a noise, a rattling sound, and the bones came together, bone to bone. I looked, and the tendons and the flesh appeared on them, and the skin covered them, but there was no breath in them. Then he said to me, prophesy to the breath. Prophesy, Son of man, and say to it, this is what the sovereign Lord says, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe into these slain, so that they may live. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and breath entered them. They came to life, and they stood up on their feet, a vast army. Then he said to me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. They say, our bones are dried up, and our hope is gone, and we are cut off. Therefore prophesy and say to them, this is what the sovereign Lord says. O my people, I'm going to open your graves and bring you up from them. I will bring you back to the land of Israel. Then you, my people, will know that I am the Lord. When I open your graves and bring you up from them, I will put my spirit in you, and you will live, and I will settle you in your own land. Then you will know that I, the Lord, have spoken, and I have done it, declares the Lord. I will put my spirit in you, and you will live. If you feel like your bones are crushed to the point of despair, despair that's described in another part of Proverbs, the 17th chapter, here's what it says: a cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. So if we're going to talk about dry bones, we have to talk about what causes dry bones. And according to Proverbs 17, what causes dry bones is a crushed spirit. There are many things that can crush our spirits: disappointments in life, sickness, loss, sadness, despair, pandemic. All of these things can actually crush our spirit, and that crushed spirit dries up the bones to where we might look like a human being, and we might even walk like a human being, and we might have the frame of a human being. But if the breath of the Almighty God is not breathed into us, not only at creation, but at recreation, where God's Spirit makes us alive to become aware to the great promises of God through his Son Jesus to save us and deliver us and give us a purpose. For a cheerful heart is the result of a great deliverance. A cheerful heart is the result of a great purpose. To be able to get up in the morning and say, wow, this is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and I will be glad in it. What will God do with me today? Where will he send me today? How will he use me today? This spirit that comes alive because of the breath of God is the result of a deliverance that only he can provide. It is the result of a purpose that only he can give. And it is the result of a great trust in the one who is able to deliver and provide purpose. So our trust continues to be in him. As we face the darkness, I want you to remember that you are the light of God in this world. As we face the uncertainty, I want you to remember that you provide the hope that is in God. You probably remember the Wizard of Oz, and I may have shared this with you before, but I think it's apropos for today. That on the journey to the celestial city, we meet with three people who come into contact with Dorothy. And one of them is the Tin Man, who has no heart. The other is the Scarecrow, who has no brain. And the other is the Lion, who has no courage. What a trio. And as they pour out their tales of woe, they are hoping that the wizard will be able to help them before the wicked witch of the West catches up with them. The Lion, the king of the beasts. He's there, and he wants everybody to believe that he is full of courage. He has the frame of what a lion should look like, but inside of him there's no breath of courage. There is no breath of nerve, and he feels inadequate. But there's something more insidious going on here in the life of the lion. Not only does he know that he's inadequate, not only does he know that he's not able to live up to the great expectations, but he begins to fake bravery. He begins to cause us all, and particularly Dorothy, to think that he is a real lion, that he is indeed the king of the beasts, that he indeed could just destroy her with one fell swoop, until she slaps him on the nose and she realizes that he's just all bluster. Then he jokes about his fear. He talks about going in before the wicked witch. Wicked witch or no wicked witch, guards or no guards, I am going to go in and tear them apart, and I might not even come out alive, but I'm going in there. There's only one thing that I want you people to do for me. What's that? Said the Tin Man. What's that? Said the Scarecrow. He said, I want you to talk me out of it. And then the final scene of that particular part of the movie shows them on their way with the lion singing, oh, if I only had a nerve. I think we do need to be restructured within our own selves. I think we do need to revisit what God intends for his creation to be, recognizing that he, above all people, knew that we would face hardship, that we would face persecution, and that we would face difficulty and uncertainty, that we would face times in the history of humanity where we just do not know where to turn. But him knowing that provides for us a beautiful way forward, a way of purpose, where the dry bones in the valley of your life have no way to come back except through the miracle of God. There's no way for you to get back on your feet except for the miracle of God. And if we go back to that Old Testament passage, we realize that even whenever those skeletons did get back on their feet and they stood up, there was still something missing. And what was missing was the breath of God. So God said to the prophet, prophesy that the breath of God will come from the four winds and will breathe into this vast army of people and bring back hope and bring back life, because then not only will we have hope and will we have life, but then, more importantly, people, we will know who God really is. Oh, wouldn't be complete without quoting a hymn, would it? So here it is, written by Rufus McDaniel, words by Charles Gabriel in 1914. What a wonderful change in my life has been wrought since Jesus came into my heart. I have light in my soul for which long I had sought since Jesus came into my heart. Verse number 3. I'm possessed of a hope that is steadfast and sure since Jesus came into my heart. Now listen. And no dark clouds of doubt now my pathway obscure since Jesus came into my heart. Final verse. I shall go there to dwell in that city I know since Jesus came into my heart. And I'm happy, so happy, as onward I go, since Jesus came into my heart. And then the refrain, since Jesus came into my heart. Since Jesus came into my heart, floods of joy o'er my soul, like the sea billows roll. Since Jesus came in to my heart. Can these bones live? Yes, they can. By the Spirit of God, by the breath of God, by the presence of Jesus, we can not only stand back up again, but we can go forward in happiness and joy without a crushed spirit, without dried up bones. God bless. Look forward to seeing you again next Sunday.